a Thursday. Get outside. This is your last day of sunshine, and so to celebrate that,
Till when?
Till who knows when. To celebrate, we had like a harder news topic, and we said on that.
We kind of did. I wasn't.
We really did.
Yeah.
Like a couple minutes ago.
The four of us together did not have the mental capacity to tackle a tough subject this morning.
Our
Sad
producers, God bless them, because they were going one direction and we pulled them in the other direction.
So do you want to see, Director Brian, do you have that SNL little string of VOs that we could play?
Direct Brian,
he's going to pull them up. I'll show you.
A little bit more of a heads up.
Yeah, we're going to show you. This was my heads up. We're going to show you the impetus for today's discussion about binge watching. We want to know what you're binge watching, and Brenda and I were kind of talking about like the psychology of it, of how it goes in and goes out, you know, when you're watching it like that versus like when you have to wait a week for the next episode. So watch this SNL skit from last weekend.
I have the whole night to unwind.
And do a little self-care.
The only way I know how.
I'm gonna watch a murder show, murder show. I'm gonna watch a murder show. Netflix, Showtime, just gotta kill. I'm gonna half watch it while I fold my pajamas. Severed limbs found on a beach in Chula Vista, but I just kinda stare while I eat a piece of pizza.
So we saw that skit from SNL last weekend, and we were like, let's just talk about binge watching. Let's talk about all these crazy documentaries that are out right now on all the various
So every time
platforms.
you talked about this during our newscast, the little aside was Brenda and I always watch these, and then we come back to work and we talk about them. I mean, I'm binge watching right now The Sinner with Jessica Biel. 3 seasons. We're on season 1, and I'm loving it. I have no idea yet how it turns out. But literally, like after the episodes, like we do 3 at a time, I'm like, I gotta call Nina. I'm like, Nina sees me every day. I'm gonna leave the poor girl alone. I needed to talk to you about these binges.
So this is called The Sinner?
The Sinner, yeah.
3 seasons?
There's and each season is a different, you know, kind of story. Yeah.
Okay.
But there is a problem with binge watching that I've discovered.
Tell me.
I had never binged anything, and then suddenly the first season of The Crown, we binge watched, and we binge watch to a high, rapid degree that within a few days, all of a sudden you find yourself waiting 2 years for the next episode.
You're right about that.
That's the problem.
My kids binge watched The Office, the entire series, which I had never watched its first run through. I mean, I
How
never
many
saw.
years is that?
It was, well, how many years did the series last?
3 seasons.
I wanted, how many?
8.
I was going to say 8, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, the boys, in about a span of 3 or 4 months, watched 8 years of The Office.
That's crazy.
And I mean, every time I looked on that TV, that's what was on. And I kind of, you know, caught up and was laughing out loud too. But it is, I'm like, guys, why don't you slow it down?
Yeah.
Because they're not making any new episodes.
Yeah.
And you can kind of let this thing go for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the other bad thing about binge watching, and this is what I told Nina, I think it makes me dumb because it doesn't land.
That's not
like when you don't, you mentioned the psychology, but when you don't actually digest a lot of it and then let it kind of just, you know, percolate, it goes in one ear and out the other. I'm like, what?
And you
happened
forget,
last time we were like watching.
Just yesterday, I called Brenda smart, and yet today we're learning she is the opposite.
Truth be told, Brenda, I actually have a list here of 12 things that make you dumb, and that's not on the list.
It's not. Well,
It's not.
that's my observation.
It doesn't make
when
you
you
dumb, but
mentioned
yeah, you
the
just
Night
don't
Stalker,
retain it.
yeah, when Nina was talking about the Night Stalker, and she looked at me, she was like, "Yeah, we've seen that," and I thought,
You were like,
"Have I? Or did somebody just tell me about that? Did I watch that?"
There's so many. Yeah, that's why I love, we pay the $15 to have the HBO Max app.
Yep.
And they don't let you, I mean, when it's like a new show, they put out an episode per week and you can't watch ahead unless it's an old show that's, you know, they just put the full thing on. But for new shows, I love that. I mean, it drives you nuts on one side,
right?
But then, like, I look forward to it. I think about, like, I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, I can't wait. Like tonight, the new one happens, and yeah, you like retain it so much more, and I feel like enjoy it.
I haven't had that feeling in a
It's
long
like,
time.
you know, don't kiss on the first date, right?
Oh, there you go.
You wait.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
Second date?
That took a turn.
Well,
but I
see,
know
you might
I
get
know what you
bored with
mean.
the person.
I know what you mean. The first series that I binge watched with my daughter Breaking Bad. We didn't ever watch it in real time.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's his name? Mr. White?
Jerry Cranston?
And Jesse. Yeah, we watched all those straight through. It was such a good show. And then I dropped off Game of Thrones, like in season 4.
Yeah.
And we went back to the beginning because Jeff had not seen it. And we binge watched Game of Thrones. That was epic.
Now, is it considered binge watching if you're watching reruns, but like 6 hours of the same show? That's binge watching too?
Yeah, that is definitely binge watching.
Okay, I may be guilty of that.
And my daughter's binge watching Friends. And that
really?
still holds up.
Why?
Well, because she never saw it originally. Somehow she stumbled across it.
It
And
holds
I
up
will
for the
get
first
sucked in
4
there as
seasons.
I'm walking up the stairs. I'm like,
Those last few seasons of Friends were, to me, brutal.
oh, yeah, I had no idea that half those people got married and had babies. I was like, what?
Brian, our producer, saying the whole series was brutal. I actually
No,
thought the, I actually
early on
thought
it
the
was
writing was
good.
pretty good in the beginning. Like that was
Early on it
sharp,
was
clever,
good.
quick. I tried to get my kids to start binge watching Cheers with me.
That's a good one.
They
They're
cannot
not
get
gonna
into
care
it.
about that.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
They don't like it?
No, and I do watch. I see it. It does feel a little slow.
Yeah, Cheers kind of doesn't do it for me anymore. That's what. There are some shows I can watch. I can watch MASH forever, but Cheers I really can't watch anymore.
I still enjoy it.
and I loved it when it was on. I really did.
What are the people saying?
Okay, the people on the stream are chiming in this morning. The first one that jumped out at me, Amy Warren. Good morning to you. Binge watching these days, The Muppet Show.
The Muppet Show. Love it.
You have
Muppet Show,
kids in the house, Amy, or is it just you reminiscing?
Well, this is a weird one. When you first read this, you feel like we should just stop the stream and do something about this, but maybe it's a show. John Nichols says, I murdered my child. The Patsy Ramsey story. Oh. But when you first read that, it says, well,
Oh, Jean Benet. What channel? What app is on?
I thought they were cleared.
Yeah.
But there's a show under that title.
Seems like a very libelous title, don't you?
Yeah, it really does. Wow, wow, wow.
I gotta
Any
look that up now.
NCIS show. Christy likes NCIS.
Yeah. a lot of those
Howard Wright finishing up The Good Place. I heard that was good, but I never watched it. Shameless. That I heard that's good. I've still never watched that either.
Rohan says Sunny in Philadelphia and Grey's Anatomy, the whole thing in 3 months.
Is Grey's Anatomy still? Is it still on? It is still on.
Yes.
It's been on forever.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Agreed.
Wow. All right.
Oh my gosh, I have not heard of some of these.
There's like too much.
Okay, that's the
Out
other
there.
thing I have a problem with.
I am now very picky because it's like your time and I really want to be hooked into it. And if I start something and it's not getting me, then I'm like, nah, I get bored and turn it off and look for another one. And then I spend my whole time just looking.
But it's analysis or paralysis by analysis, whichever order
what it
that
is.
goes
Yeah,
in.
it's good.
I will just flip through those things and, my family's looking at me like, stop. Just pick one. I'm like, I don't know. There are too many choices.
Yeah. The last one I just, we both got into, Brenda, was called 30 Coins on HBO. That's a wild one. I loved, and you loved, Lovecraft Country.
Yes, that was another good
and they're
one.
both of these shows are freaking
just
super
out
weird.
there. Yes, super weird.
Drew, I have to ask you.
Yes.
How many Rocky movies in a row have you sat down and watched? Have you watched like 1, 2, 3, 4 all in the same day, sir?
I don't think I ever have, believe it or not, sat down and watched even 3 Rockies in a row.
Oh, really? That's surprising.
But in the summer of 1985, the summer of 1985, I spent a month at my aunt's house in Delaware. Don't ask me why. But anyways, I was there, and we didn't have cable at my house, but my aunt had cable in 1985. And I got the cable guide out when I got there at the beginning of June, and I saw how many times Rocky 3 was playing on HBO that month. And I went through and I circled all the times, and I was literally getting up. At one point, I got up in the middle of the night to see it again. So I probably, in that month, Rod, watched Rocky 3.
Is that the
same
Russian?
Rocky movie.
Who is that?
That's Mr. T. That's the
Mr.
Clubber
T.
Lang edition of Rocky.
Right.
I watched that probably, 22 times that June.
People are talking about Lost. They say, should I start watching Lost?
Yes.
I've never
and
seen
don't
it.
say anything about it, people. Let him just start
Surprise
and go through the end.
Okay.
Yes. I loved Lost. Those early seasons are like,
Justified? Have you guys heard of the Justified series on Hulu?
That was a good one. Yes.
Karen Springfield watches that.
Old now, but yeah, it's good.
oh, Euphoria. Producer Brian.
I tried to watch like 5 minutes of that. Wait, Brian's watching that?
Brian Folsom.
Oh, Brian Folsom. Okay.
We have two Brians in the booth now these days. We have a director named Brian.
Brian
Matthews,
F. and Brian M.
and the producer, Brian Folsom. I think John Nichols pulled a fast one on us earlier, or at least on me, regarding the Patsy Ramsey story.
No, someone says don't watch it. It's a waste of time.
Really? I looked it up.
Yeah.
I did not see one under that title.
Oh, I heard, I saw like the Today Show or somebody was talking about it on national TV.
All right.
Becky's with me.
Shireen, yes to Ozark. I'm with your husband. I thought that was fantastic.
To me, it moves so slow.
It's all gray.
Ozark?
Slow.
I don't think so either.
Yes.
It's all grayed out.
But I will
there are
say
some
this,
dark
though.
scenes, like dark, like colored scenes. Like
Yeah,
some,
but that
always-
was amazing.
I loved it too, Brenda. And I haven't seen many recent shows.
Are
start
they
to finish.
done?
No, there's supposed to be another episode coming, but I think the
Is that right?
pandemic shut down production.
Yeah.
So that's why we're waiting so long.
They did get the stereotype of the people who live there right on. That's where my mom and dad lived, the Ozark, Lake of the Ozarks, where they shot some of it.
Right.
And I'm like,
Creepy
yeah, they pretty
place.
much nailed the stereotype of some of the locals.
Fair enough.
The secondary characters
most
though on that
TV.
show are unbelievable, right? Like the secondary characters on Ozark, you just can't get enough of them.
Oh,
and every year, every
absolutely.
season, they come up with 2 or 3 more new ones. You're like, oh, this is the greatest character in the history of the show. Yes, Nina.
I have a question. Does anyone, any of us four, or you wonderful folks on the stream, do you guys get into like TV shows anymore? Like
watching
over the
new
air
ones?
or cable shows? Or is it like apps now, 100%? Netflix, Hulu, HBO is a channel too.
Well,
but
it's-
app.
to answer that question, in our house right now, I'm not really a part of this. I've been sort of, I guess I've fallen asleep too much to be a part of the club. But my wife and children are now watching Blacklist. Do you know the show?
Is that on NBC? On our
So it's an
channel?
NBC, yeah, but they didn't know. They found it through Netflix. So they're watching the show on Netflix, Blacklist, and then after a little bit, I said to me, that's an NBC show that I think is still creating new episodes.
Is it?
Is it?
And she said, really? It's an NBC
think
show?
it's so
I swear, I think I saw it on
And
the
then
Friday.
they can sell them, to run on
Guide.
Netflix or whatever.
It
You know
is
what? I've
NBC,
seen a couple
you're right.
episodes and it was good.
Yeah.
I can see why they like it.
Yeah, Grayson watches that. She likes that show.
See, but isn't that interesting that the first time you guys are watching it is through a Netflix app
Right.
versus when it was on television?
Yeah.
Like I kind of now, any like network TV, I mean,
Right.
that's terrible to say. We work
know.
for network TV.
I hear you.
We have nothing to do with any of those shows or NBC, we're just an affiliate, but like, I don't watch any of it.
No, I mean-
It seems like it's like,
But don't you have to? I mean, to me, I don't either, but I'm
Two
also...
raspberries
That
in one
sounds
sunrise.
I'm also in bed when prime time starts.
True.
So to me, I wonder if I had a normal life, if you will, I wonder if I would be flipping around and finding TV shows. But I don't want to get invested in any of them because I can't watch them on a regular basis over the air.
There's no way anyone beyond, below us in terms of generations will ever have that scheduled TV time ever again. There's no
I
way
know,
someone's going to say,
right?
8:30, I'm watching that on
whenever you
Thursday.
want
No,
it.
that's never going to happen again.
Yeah, I would
Sonia
agree.
says Handmaid's Tale. I have not
I want
seen
to
that
watch
yet.
that. I've read
do
the
too.
books and they're so good.
Yeah, Mia's watched that show. That's a weird one. I've walked into the room a couple times, like, what the hell is going on that TV screen? And then she'll say, are the boys coming down? No, okay, and then she'll keep on. It's some bizarre stuff on that show.
Yeah, it's a good book. Really good.
So Howard Wright says Blacklist is in season 8.
So they are
Yeah.
still. What's the name of the gentleman that stars in that show?
I don't know.
Yes,
can
you do.
picture him.
I can too.
James Spader.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes.
He was on that one
Nice.
law show with Captain James T. Kirk. What's Kirk's real name?
Hey, I believe my mom has made her first
William
contribution.
Shatner. Yeah.
We can't remember.
Your mom's on the stream?
My mom is on the stream this
Oh,
morning.
one of our moms.
Hey.
Okay, what'd she say?
Well, I think it's her first comment, and I think she has a misspelling.
Where? I don't
I think she's trying to spell Hulu, and
How'd she spell it?
she said hoo-hoo.
H-O-H-O?
We need to start an app called Hoo Hoo.
H-U-H-U. I don't.
Oh.
She said it's a series called Justified on
Yeah, we were talking about. Oh, is she the one that said that?
Justified.
Yeah, Justified's
series.
great.
Oh yeah.
It used to be on FX. FX is also, if you have that app, and now they're streaming it through Hulu as well. So if you have a Hulu, you can get FX. FX has fantastic shows. The Americans, American Horror Story, some of those.
You okay?
The Gianni Versace story. They did an O.J. Simpson one with great actors in it. And yeah, FX has awesome shows.
When do you typically watch, Nina? Because I feel like the day goes by super quick.
I just have a little window from like 1:30 to 3:30 that
And you
I'm
get
prepping
in all
dinner
that TV
and
in 2 hours?
well, I'm pausing it and prepping dinner or putting in a load of laundry, and then I'll sit and watch, and then I got to go pick up the kid and turn it off.
And
But
not
yeah,
falling
little
asleep,
window.
though.
Not at that time of day. Are you guys falling asleep at that time of day?
If I sat on the couch at 1:30, I would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I do.
Night,
Let's see.
Bob
Sheila
Burgers?
Speck says we watch all the NCIS shows and all the Chicago PD, Med, Fire, all that stuff. You know, for a long time, I would not watch True Crime. Can you tell it's almost Friday?
True Crime?
True
Yeah.
Crime. Because I was like, for a long time in the TV news business, that's all my day was. I'm like, I have
Yeah.
real true crime. I don't want that when I go
Right.
home.
Yeah.
I want something super light. But now I've turned the corner. I've come over to the dark side.
Dark side.
Night Stalker is freaking really good and scary. It's about Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker from LA. Great documentary. There's one on. It just seems like there are all those murder shows.
Well, and I don't feel like that's new, right? What's the whole network dedicated to true crime stories? There was a whole.
Crime Network.
I thought it was
I
something
think it
else.
is. Or Justice Network or
True
something.
Crime.
That's like on TV.
But yeah, I mean,
There's that one network that does a lot of cop
thank you.
shows. Eye on
ID
Television.
channel. Our producer Brian Folsom in my ear. The ID channel. They've been
It's
doing.
always been, like Lifetime and all that stuff.
Well, I'm talking about the ID channel. Investigation Discovery. It's been around forever.
Yeah.
But now we're just starting to call this a hot genre. I don't know.
Well, I
Guys-
think there's just so many apps and so many cable channels, and
Yeah.
they have to fill it. And so all these documentary, filmmakers out there are like, oh, this is great. I can sell it to somewhere. And so there's just a mad scramble to get as many of anything as you can.
Is there a show called Bob's Burgers? I have to.
Yeah, cartoon.
That's a cartoon? Mm-hmm. Oh,
It's like an adult cartoon, kind of like The Simpsons.
I like the title. I should watch
No,
it.
Eyes are
everybody
drawn for
thought you
burgers.
would.
Yeah.
Is there a channel that you cannot help pausing on and getting sucked in, even though it's super duper cheesy?
Keeping up
Mine?
with the Kardashians.
Oh yeah, same. America's Next Top Model seems to get me occasionally.
Yeah?
Good old Tyra Banks. And Ancient Aliens. Is it possible?
Ancient aliens.
I have heard jokes about that show, but I've never actually watched it. It's fun or like interesting.
Rod, have you ever heard of
Brenda?
Ancient Aliens?
I have
have
not,
not
but I feel
seen-
like I'm only a few years away from being one.
He's got the alien part down, ladies and gentlemen. Working towards the ancient part.
You seriously don't know Ancient Aliens?
never heard of
know
Ancient
about
Aliens.
it.
I've not heard it.
Because there's a Vice TV channel show where a dude smokes weed and watches it.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, Action Bronson, that's right.
But yeah, it is literally one of those things where they go back, to the ancient whatever, and they all these
Ancient
phenomena, and they blame it or credit ancient
on
aliens.
aliens. Yeah.
See, you got to remember that Rod and I, there are so many hours of the week that we dedicate to live sports viewing. So we don't have as much time as you to watch some of these other entertainment programs.
I'm going to say 70% of my TV viewing, 70% is probably the Golf Channel.
Golf Channel.
It is. I love the Golf Channel.
That's
What
right.
else do they have on when it's not a tournament? I mean, are there tournaments every day?
Well, I like all of
Or is it
the
just analysis?
No, well, I mean, they cover the European Tour, the LPGA Tour, the PGA Tour. They have reruns of those weekend tours on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then they have.
Yeah.
I bet you they
a lot
have
of
features,
shows.
right? Like documentaries on players and,
Well,
and things like that?
Yeah, they have a documentary on Nicklaus and on Palmer. They.
Any how-tos,
And
right?
they
How to
also
swing
have
the clubs?
coaching, coaching lessons that you
Yeah.
can watch.
Ron,
Great channel.
the golf show that I did really watch, and now I can't remember, it's been a long time, and I can't remember what channel it
The
was.
Legend of Bagger Vance.
No, it was the one where
Happy
they
Gilmore.
helped Charles Barkley with his
Oh, I know what you're talking
itch
about.
giddy up thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was that golf
Yeah.
pro. What's that dude's name?
Oh,
Gosh.
Who took him through it?
Tiger
It's
Woods.
been a while ago. I can't remember who the.
Phil
Isn't he a
Mickelson.
British guy? Accent?
Was it Hank Haney? Is that what Brian Folsom?
Yes,
It might have
that's
been
what it
Hank
was.
Haney, yeah.
It may have been on
Yeah, I think
HBO.
Brian's right.
That was great, and I did watch the whole thing. 'Cause I love Charles Barkley, and
Yeah.
I just think he's so funny, and that swing of his is so.
Oh, that is
freaking
messed
weird.
up, isn't
It's been
it?
corrected though, right, Rod? He has fixed that hitch. The last I heard, Barkley has actually fixed the hitch, and he's playing very well.
He is much better. I think there was a point if you were at a celebrity tournament with Charles, there was a severe risk you would be hit by a golf ball.
Yep.
And I think that risk factor has dropped, yes.
It was incredible to me how a professional
But he made
athlete
him work,
like him.
like he was good, right? With
No,
it?
no, he wasn't very good with the hitch.
Oh.
He was not that good. And it was crazy to me that a guy with that much athleticism, right? Like he was at the top of his profession in basketball, really among the best, but he could not swing the golf club to say it like looked so awkward, like it hurt. It's like, why can't he
but
do
that's
that?
a whole different skill
I
set.
know,
That
but
doesn't surprise me at all.
Like Shaq
it takes
shooting free throws. That looked like it hurt, right? When Shaq was shooting free throws.
It's fun. Has anybody seen that new dog trainer show? He's like the new
I've seen
dog
it.
whisperer, but he's
Caesar Milan?
no, it's not Caesar.
No,
it's
but the new one.
New guy. But it's,
haven't.
I love that show. I can't even
Canine
remember. Again,
Intervention
we
or
binge watch all of them. I don't even know what it's called. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't stick.
I must have to thank our viewers today because this was really therapeutic for us. Again, we were encouraged strongly by our producers to tackle a tough top news topic.
Yeah.
And we said we can't do it. We have to talk about binge watching. That's where our mental capacity is on this Thursday morning. So thank you for engaging us.
Okay.
And I know it's probably time to go because about 30 seconds ago, Brian Matthews, our director, got in my ear at least, maybe all of yours, and I got one of these. 30 seconds.
Right. He's done with us.
He hasn't taken a sky cam yet. Once that
Happens, we've got to go.
then
Where's that
we
sky
have
cam,
to
Brian?
go.
There it is.
Hey. All right, you guys, enjoy your
Have a
Thursday.
good day.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You